Income inequality is bad, before suplexing you into a neon dystopian nightmare. And I mean that as a compliment. Glen Powell is running for his life. Edgar Wright is running from his own style. I'm running out of oxygen because wait till you see how it ends. Now, what year is it?
What year is it?
I mean, we had Predator last week, The Running Man today. Did we slip into a VHS timeline? Hey everyone, I'm Wes from Atomic Cult Media, the channel where I watch so many dystopias, I'm pretty sure my Roku thinks I'm plotting something. Hit that like button and let's dive into The Running Man 2025. The Running Man follows Ben Richards, a desperate father in a broken future who gets forced into a violent reality show where everyday people are hunted for sport. After being framed by the media and thrown into the game, Ben fights to survive, filled with deadly celebrity killers and nonstop surveillance. Along the way, he discovers the show is even more rigged and corrupt than anyone realizes, meets unexpected allies, and becomes the first contestant to actually push back against the system. What starts as a fight for his family turns into a fight to expose the truth and bring down the network controlling the whole dystopian nightmare. I've been hyped for this movie for a minute. I'm an Edgar Wright fan, and I grew up watching the '87 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie on repeat on VHS when I was a kid. That's why I'm so weird and messed up now. But then I saw the trailer and I saw how different it was, and that it's not a remake of the '87 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's a new adaptation of Stephen King's original novel. So I read the novel this past summer, and wow, what a depressing book. It's very heavy, and then I saw the tone of the trailer. I'm like, how is Edgar Wright going to pull this off? And later on, I'm going to have like a spoiler section where I discuss the ending of the book compared to the ending of this movie. There are a lot of similarities and there are some differences. So stick around if you want to watch that, but I'll let you know when the spoilers come up and you can skip past it if you don't want to see it. Because I think that ending needs to be discussed. I love that the movie, it wastes zero time dropping you into this world. We're talking dying economy, media control, and people desperate enough to literally run for entertainment. It's fast, it's loud, and it's in your face. Honestly, it felt like I was watching Paul Verhoeven doing his faithful adaptation of this book, which is wild, but also kind of perfect. Every few minutes, you get these like over-the-top commercials or like propaganda blasts that feel ripped out of RoboCop's fever dream. The tone swings hard between absurdly satirical and grimly grounded, and that contrast isn't a bug, it's the whole point. As Ben Richards gets pulled deeper into the game, the story picks up momentum like a freight train. The escalates, alliances shift, and Powell starts leaning into the role in a way that surprised me, almost gleefully chaotic at times. And then the last third happens. And without spoilers, let's just say the pacing goes from sprint, sprint, sprint to, hey, let's jog in place for 20 minutes, and then sprint again. Wright tries to keep everything from the book for better and for worse. Still, even when it stumbles, it's never boring, because the world and characters are so loud and colorful and leaning all the way into the chaos. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and maybe subscribe. If you want to support the channel a little further, hit that join button and join our membership tier. We also have a Patreon. Also, if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. You get 3 hypes a week. That really helps small channels like this, and I would love to get one of those hypes from you. This cast is pretty stacked, so let's run through the highlights real quick. You got Glen Powell as Ben Richards, doing the regular guy push past his limit and occasionally dips into feral energy. He sells the exhaustion, the desperation, and the sarcasm. Josh Brolin as Dan Killian. Perfect casting. He's got the calm, smirking authority that makes every line sound like a threat wrapped in charm. And Coleman Domingo is having a freaking blast in this movie. He chews scenery like he's getting paid by the syllable. It's absolutely delightful. Lee Pace is McCone, masked, menacing, and carrying way more weight than the film gives him time for. There's a reveal about him that's genuinely awesome. Michael Cera is Elton Pericus. Cera plays a weird little rebel man, and honestly it works. Amelia Jones as Amelia, and this is one of my gripes because Jones is great. She doesn't get enough space in this movie. She was recently in Task and she was like phenomenal in it. And that's where the trying to fit everything into the book in this movie and this part got cut to smithereens, it seemed like, and just really rushed through the emotional beats of her scenes. Arnold Schwarzenegger even makes a cameo at the beginning of the movie. He's on the money. He's on the Arnie bucks. I guess he's the president in this world. I don't know. And it's directed by Edgar Wright. And this is where things kind of get interesting because it does not feel like an Edgar Wright movie at all. No whip cups or, rhythmic editing or visual comedy sequences. Like I said, he's channeling Verhoeven so hard I kept expecting someone to yell, "I'd buy that for $1."
I'd buy that for $1.
Wright fought hard to keep the adaptation faithful to the book structure. This explains why the last third feels like a different engine bottled into the same vehicle. I mean, this has the oppressive regime that leans to like Brazil and THX vibes. Even Killian's stage lighting evokes the 1987 movie's TV set. What I liked about it, the world building pretty much slaps. It's so dystopian, and the contrast between what the people in the world, the lives they are living, and the shit they see on TV. It just seems too real almost today. The pacing for the first 2/3 of this movie is relentless. I was really on board with it. It's in your face, it's action-packed, and visually I thought it looked great. I thought the satire is pretty sharp without being too goofy, and I keep bringing up Verhoeven, but I mean, I grew up watching RoboCop and Starship Troopers, and even though it's not subtle, in the very least, I still find those things sort of entertaining. Like, it's just diving into the absurdity of it all. And the action scenes, I feel like they have weight because there's actual stunts being performed. There's actual explosions. Nothing that's like overly CGI or make it feel weightless at all. And the cast, like I said, they look like they're having a blast, The lack of subtlety is not a downfall to this. I like that. Don't be subtle with The Running Man, okay? With a geese-inspired action movie. I want them to ham it the hell up, and they did, and they look like they were having a blast. And like I said, the tonal contrast of the flashy and the gritty, the depressing aspects of this story, and the levity with it, I think it works for me. For me, it does. It's just that same contrast with the lives people are living in the real world compared to what they're seeing on the TV or the freebie. And it is shockingly faithful to the book, and that's probably to a fault, which I'll go into what I didn't like about it. The final third drags like it's wearing ankle weights. It's the book, it does slow down in the book. The book has room to explore these themes, this character that he meets later on that's played by Emilia Jones. Unfortunately, I feel like she's a little bit wasted, but she does what she can with this role. It feels like a lot of her dialogue and everything was left on the cutting room floor. And I can see why, because this movie's already running over 2 hours long. But yeah, that last third, it's like the pacing becomes bizarrely uneven. Even like at the halfway point, it becomes a little bit uneven. Especially the last part of the ending. It's like, holy shit, just get it over with already. It's like, I've read books on screenwriting and stuff, and it's like, okay, do the third act and then get the hell out. This movie lingers for a long ass while at the very last part of it. I was getting a little agitated, to be honest. And I keep bringing Verhoeven, but this has to do with Edgar Wright because it just doesn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie. It's just, I feel like he's losing his voice a little bit. Like the last movie I saw was Last Night in Soho, and that didn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie. I guess I see where he's coming from. He's doing his version of Verhoeven, but I'd hope he finds his voice again because the movie before Soho, Baby Driver, I loved. And the ending is a little too clean. It's a little too Hollywood clean. And I understand why they did it. And this is where I'm going to go into spoilers because I need to talk about this ending. So hit the timestamp below just to go to my overall thoughts and score. But yeah, let's discuss that ending because the book ending is like brutal. And I didn't know what they were going to do with this version of it. So let's dive into spoilers. So in the book, he's on the plane and Richards discovers his wife and child are already dead. And Killian offers him a job as a hunter for the Running Man. Richard says, screw you. He kills McCone, forces Emilia to escape, flies the plane straight into the network tower, dies. Killian dies. Huge explosion, the whole martyrdom arc complete. It's bleak, it's powerful, and it's very Stephen King. The ending is similar, but much lighter. McCone is revealed as a former runner. Ben defeats and kills him, and then Amelia escapes. Killian manipulates the broadcast with a deep fake because he is given this speech about how the network is lying to everybody. And the plane is shot down because they have missiles outside the tower. But Ben survives. Amelia, she recovers the black box. Ben secretly reunites with his family, who were not killed. That was a deep fake. The rebellion begins. The public sentiment turns on Killian and the Freevee Corporation. Killian gets the TV studio showdown death from Ben as he shoots him in the head and cut the credits. It's dramatic. It's fun. It's very Hollywood. It's satisfying enough, especially with the tone this movie is going for, but also a bit of a cop-out. It lacks the tragic weight of the novel, but delivers the 80s-styled, crowd-pleasing finale Wright clearly wanted. I'm actually torn on it, but I understand the decision for this ending. So overall, I would give The Running Man 2025 a 3 out of 5. I liked it, and I had a blast in parts, but this thing has some major structural problems that you just can't ignore. It honestly feels like an alternate universe adaptation dropped into our timeline, but Wright's persistence to keep so close to the novel within a movie runtime, which is still over 2 hours, really hurt the experience, especially towards the latter half of the film. Honestly, I think a better approach would have been to do a mix of the novel and the 87 movie as its own thing, but if you're going to do a direct adaptation to it, I would just do it as a mini-series. I wish I liked this movie more, and I was really digging the first half of it. I just don't see myself throwing this on randomly like the 87 movie. But there is some entertainment to be had and some style. But for me, if I was going to tell you to watch this, I would say wait for streaming. But what did you think of The Running Man 2025? Did you read the original novel? Are you a fan of the Schwarzenegger movie? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button and click here to subscribe. Click here to see me and my friend Lucas discussing the 1987 Running Man. Our Patreon's right here. We also have YouTube memberships. Just hit that join button down below. Also, if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. You get 3 hypes a week. Those are meant to help small creators like me. I'd love one of those hypes, and I'll see you later. Bye.